was a song that I wrote recently. I was living in Dublin for about 11 years, you know, and I sort of was playing a lot around Dublin and gigging with a lot of different people, and just sort of, I decided to make the move home back to Belfast, sort of back to your own people as such, like, you know what I mean, and back to your family. And at the time, I had a brother, he's Kieran, he's playing on the song as well, he was living in America, and I'd been out in America gigging with him and stuff. It was all about the journey home, about making the journey home. You go out there looking for something, or maybe doing a bit of travelling or whatever, like, and then you always end up back on a journey home to your own people. So I was writing a bit when I was younger, but just as sort of went to college and different things sort of with sport and stuff sort of took preference, and then I was gigging a lot, like, so I put the songwriting on the back burner, and then I ended up, during this COVID, obviously no gigs, everything slowed down, a bit of inspiration came again, and the first song that came to me actually was another song called Homeless, but this one sort of followed after, yeah. And I actually then got in contact with a few guys that I gigged with in America, Colin Farrell and Shane Farrell. They're actually two brothers as well, so it's actually two sets of brothers playing on this song. But 2 summers ago, I was out gigging in America. I was gigging in Washington DC with Shane, the brother. He plays banjo and mandolin and fiddle. He's a brilliant musician, and just really enjoyed playing with him. And I sort of always said to myself, once I start writing my own stuff or putting my own stuff out there, these were the guys I was going to use, Journey home was also about, not only being on a journey home, but it's also being on a journey home to yourself, At certain points in your life, you can sort of move to different places, and you feel like you're trying to find yourself, but you're actually on a journey home to yourself, and eventually you do find your way back home.
Caught up in time, stayed at places I should have left behind, broken lines. Yourself all the time through those weary eyes, kept the flow with laughter and smiles. The world we see is not the same for you and me. We walk alone down a path that we can't see. When you feel the breeze, you never know who you'll meet in a darkened night. World that shines so bright, a troubled time will teach you how to breathe tonight. We're on the road that we know, on a journey home to the ones we love. We're alive and gone, and we're growing young. On the streets of home, we learn to run. It's hard to see things that lie beneath its traveling home. It's where you find the peace, not in distant fields, or the blue that fills the sea. I'm coming home, where I belong. We're on the road that we know, on a journey home to the ones we love. We're alive and gone, when we're growing young. On the streets of home, we learn to run. See, the journey was meant to be of hurt and hope, things that we must feel when things are broke. It's the point that we must grow, we'll never know what lies beneath our feet tonight. Forever young. A way of love and fun, that's how we learn to run. When everything seems undone, take your time. Find the peace to ease your mind. You might see that life was just meant to be. We're on the road that we know, on a journey home to the ones we love. Where life begun, ever growing young. On the streets of home, we learn to run. We're on the road that we know, on a journey home to the ones we love. Where life begun, ever growing young. On the streets of home, we learn to run.
So homeless came about, it sort of came from an experience whenever I was living in Dublin for about 11 years. And I was gigging, and you know, every night you were going out for a smoke break or whatever, like, you know, and there's a lot of homeless people in Dublin, you know, and you're meeting them all the time, and they're coming over and they're having a chat with you, like, you know. So I met many homeless people throughout my time living in Dublin, gigging and around the city centre, you know. And I suppose it probably sort of planted a seed what it would be like to live on the street, you know. And I started to sort of watch different people as I was around Dublin and realised there was a lot of poverty and a lot of homeless. So it must have started the cogs turning somewhere, because when I then eventually moved home to Belfast, actually it was weird how it happened that, you know, like I woke up at 5 in the morning with a song in my head, and I jumped up, and the girlfriend was obviously, she was still in bed, and sort of sneaked out of the bedroom. I got the guitar and went to the kitchen so I wouldn't wake anybody up, do you know what I mean? And I started writing this song at 5 or 6 in the morning, and that continued for 4 or 5 hours straight until maybe say 12 o'clock midday. And by the end of it, you know, I had the song Homeless, you know. But it seemed to just flow, it seemed to just come out, like, just, you know, must have been all the experiences of meeting different homeless people and homeless men, I suppose, like, do you know what I mean? And there's a lot of them on the street, you know, that you would see all the time. And the song just seemed to come out of nowhere, but obviously the seeds were planted. But when I was writing that song, it was, in my mind, it was thinking about the homeless in Dublin, do you know what I mean? So that's really where that song came from.
Out on these streets, nowhere to go. The old man sits, no place called home. His old face hurts, the breeze and the cold. It's on the streets he calls his home. His battered bones, his face all aglow. Those tattered clothes are the only friends he knows. This life it passes, no one even knows. This life it goes as he sits all alone. And the people passing by on the streets every night, and no one stops to hear his cry. It's on these streets he makes his home tonight. He lies and cries as the people passing by. He finds a friend, a poison that never ends, keeps him on the streets to the bitter No one sees the man with the bottle in his hand. This life is hard, it's gonna be the end. And the people passing by on the streets every night, and no one stops to hear his cry. It's on these streets he makes his home tonight. He lies and cries. There's the people passing by. The early morning sun to the moon at night finds his way in the bitter night. Just one more drink might just save his life. From the corner streets he spends his time, and the people passing by on the streets every night, and no one stops to hear his cry. It's on these streets he makes his home tonight. He lies and cries. There's a people passing by.
So the song Everyone Outside, sort of wrote it during COVID. Just heard a lot of people talking about, about their mental health and about stuff like, that was going on. So this song's fairly relevant to what's actually going on now at the minute, So everybody's going through their ups and downs through this COVID, do you know what I mean? And sort of, that's where this song comes from, I suppose everyone outside might see things differently, but a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff, maybe in the background, so it just sort of came out of everything that's going on at the minute, and talking to friends and talking to family and sort of getting how they're feeling and sort of how you're feeling yourself. Do you know what I mean?
When you're feeling high and you lose your mind, and you can't do wrong and you can't do right, and nothing seems to shed a light. It's a worried mind all the time. Something deep inside, when you got no place to hide. And to everyone outside, you're just fine. Better times in the night, when everything seems so right. Just hold on tight, it's alright. You look around, the world will shine. The battlefield lies inside, with yourself all the time. Many lost of this kind, of the broken dream in the shattered lights. Something deep inside, when you got no place to hide. And to everyone outside, you're just fine. Better times in the night, when everything seems so right. Just hold on tight, it's alright. You look around, the world will shine. Better times in the night, when everything seems so right. Just hold on tight, it's alright. Look around, the world will shine. Take a walk with me and you'll see. Find the peace that you need. Just carry on, feel the breeze. Find the ones that you need. Somewhere deep inside, and you got no place to hide. And to everyone outside, you're just fine. Better times in the night, when everything seems so right. Just hold on tight, it's alright. You look around, the world will shine.